Apple and OpenAI are locked in a conflict over who gets to define our relationship with machines. One side is building a secure, closed ecosystem, while the other is releasing tools designed to bypass those same gates. This M1 Pro spec screen highlights Apple's hardware strategy. A dedicated neural engine enables on-device machine learning. Paired with the secure enclave, it keeps personal data under the user's physical control. This protects privacy, but historically limited Siri's ability to learn from massive cloud datasets. OpenAI took the opposite path. To fund the massive costs of training models, the company moved from a nonprofit to a capped profit model. Backed by $1 billion investment, they built a centralized cloud API that delivered ChatGPT directly to millions of users, completely bypassing the hardware gatekeepers. These two architectures, a private supercomputer in your pocket and a centralized cloud brain, set the two companies on an unavoidable path toward competition. To handle tasks that are too complex for a phone, Apple developed private cloud compute. It is designed to extend their privacy standards into the cloud by using servers running custom Apple silicon. The system works like a locked box. The server processes the encrypted request, delivers the result, and the raw data is instantly destroyed. Not even Apple can see the information while it's processed. OpenAI responded to closed systems by releasing the GPT-OSS family of models. These were made available under the Apache 2.0 license, allowing developers to use the models for their own projects with few restrictions. This is an open weight release. Developers get the finished mathematical weights, the model's actual intelligence, but they don't get the underlying training data or specific code used to create it. These strategies force developers to choose between two technical paths: the mathematical privacy guarantees of a centralized cloud, or the freedom to run and customize models on their own private hardware. This competition moved into the courtroom in July 2026. Apple filed a federal trade secret lawsuit, claiming OpenAI was involved in a coordinated effort to steal sensitive intellectual property. The lawsuit targeted hardware designs rather than software. Apple alleged that former employees took trade secrets related to their next-generation system on a chip, the actual physical processors that will power future devices. This server hardware represents the massive infrastructure costs required to run high-level AI. For OpenAI, developing its own silicon would mean it no longer has to rely entirely on third-party manufacturers like NVIDIA to provide the power its models need. The legal battle suggests that software is only half of the race. The company that controls the physical processors will ultimately determine how capable and efficient AI can become. For a developer, Apple's ecosystem offers immediate access to 1 billion users and a reputation for security. But this requires building strictly on Apple's terms and following the rules of their curated App Store. Working with OpenWeights offers the freedom to build and fine-tune models anywhere without paying for every API call. However, the developer then takes on the burden of independent security and the high infrastructure costs of running those models. Users face a similar trade-off. We have to choose between a conservative, safety-focused assistant that lives on our devices or the more advanced reasoning of a cloud-based brain that requires us to trust a company's data policies. Outside of these two companies, government regulations are beginning to shift the landscape. Legislation like the EU's Digital Markets Act is forcing gatekeepers to be more transparent about their data and how their different AI models interact. This likely leads to a hybrid system. Your private, on-device AI could securely negotiate tasks with powerful, open-weight models hosted by external businesses, using a secure handshake to protect your identity while accessing cloud-level power. The technical standards established by these companies today will define the limits of our digital privacy for years to come. Whether we work within a curated ecosystem or build with open-weight models, the underlying hardware and software will decide who ultimately controls our data.